These guys started picking at 3 o'clock, and it's Sauvignon Blanc for a special program. And even here at this time at 5 o'clock, they're still pretty jazzed up. But the big advantage is this is really for the winery, because they can get this fruit into the press. It's still cold, and it's great for them for fermentation. Vines are opened up enough that the fruit is readily visible, and it's easy to pick, especially at night. Even with the headlamps, it's very easy to see the clusters. And we find these headlamps work very well for harvesting. They can focus on where the fruit is at. There's a lot of advantages also to early morning picking, especially if days get very warm in the 80s or 90s. They've already got 3 or 4 hours worth of picking done before the temperatures warm up. With the canopy being as open as it is, and the fruit is readily accessible and it's highly visible, they don't really need the big light tower to cast more light. Their headlamps seem to work very well. So then that first bin, there's approximately 1,000 pounds of Sauvignon Blanc, which is about 25 cases of wine. The workers will space themselves out about a vine to a vine and a half, depending, so that way they're not working too close to one another. Not necessarily responsible for a particular vine, but they just know that they need to give themselves a little space, and they give themselves about a pan's worth of space, so they kind of calculate how much fruit is out here, and that way there's not too much going back and forth. They dial it in pretty well. They know exactly where they need to be and watch each other's back, so to speak. Well, here, because of the special program, we're only picking 8 rows. So it's going to be equivalent to about 4 tons of fruit. It's a small special program that we do. But if it was a good night where it was open picking, or the winery has a limitation of 30 tons, you know, each crew could easily pick 8 tons and no problem per crew in an 8-hour day. They do their morning routine. They'll do their exercises before coming out to pick. Exercising and warming up their back muscles, arm muscles. Because again, it's kind of grueling. You can see they're doing the twisting around, and how's the harvest going this year, Arminio, so far? What do you think? Looks pretty good?
Yeah, it looks better than last year. I mean, that's a lot of fruit than last year.
Yep.
Everything looks great.
And people seem to be happy picking?
Yeah, people's happy, yeah.
Do we have many problems, or do you see many problems with people wanting to get up to go to work at 3 o'clock?
No, the people like start at 3 o'clock because before it gets hot. Yeah.
So basically by starting at 3, we could be done by noon and still get 8 hours of harvest time in. And the temperatures might be on a typical day 80 or 85 degrees, and they're not too exhausted.
Yeah.
As you can see here, as we pan through these vines, even in the 5 o'clock in the morning, they're very clean. There's no clusters left behind, no even little small clusters. Again, the headlamps are an asset to picking. And they can even recognize something like this that was not a good cluster to harvest, and they just leave it. You can see on the ground, there's no fruit on the ground. Very clean operation. Arminio, you have no job today. Too clean.
Yes, too clean.
That's good. See, as each pan was dumped, virtually there's no leaves in any of the pans. Again, they monitor themselves to keep the fruit as clean as possible. Oh. Here goes a happy crew after their pick for this morning. They're going to go wash their pans, have some donuts and chocolate, coffee, and then they're going to get ready for the rest of the day for working. They're not done today at all. We got thinning operations that we're going to do as soon as the sun comes up at 7, and so they'll be rested for that and continue their day. Pick one a little bit quicker this morning than we anticipated, but it works out good for everybody.